Figure of speech number 7 is hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech in which exaggeration is used to express the essence of something that is true. In drama, hyperbole is quite common, especially in heroic drama. Hyperbole is a fundamental part of the tall tales from Western America. The conscious overstatements of these tales are forms of hyperbole. Many other examples of hyperbole can be found in the romance fiction and comedy. Hyperbole is even a part of our day-to-day speech, especially the speech of Mr. Giroux. Hyperbole is used to increase the effect of a description, whether it is a metaphoric or comic description. In poetry, hyperbole can emphasize or dramatize a person's opinions or emotions. Skilled poets use hyperbole to describe intense emotions and mental states. Here are a couple of examples. First, from the poem The Eagle. He clasps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun in lowly lands. Ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls, he watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls. The hyperbole is related to the word thunderbolt. The intense speed and power of the thunderbolt describes how the eagle attacks its prey. From out of nowhere, the eagle appears instantaneously. In the following poem, well known by many people, called The Road Not Taken, notice the highlighting that I made in the last stanza. You might want to pause the screencast and read this poem and consider how ages and ages hence is used hyperbolically. Now we will look at some scriptural examples to see how hyperbole is used to express intense emotion and mental states. In Matthew 23:24, Jesus says, "You blind guides, who strain out a gnat and swallow a camel." There are several things in here that apply to the hyperbole here. We strain out a gnat, who strain out a gnat, and swallow a camel. This is certainly hyperbolic because no one can swallow a camel. John 12:19, so the Pharisees said to one another, "You see that you are not doing any good. Look, the world has gone after him." There are several things happening here. For one thing, this is a figure of speech which includes several that we've looked at. One is part whole. It wasn't the entire world, and the world itself is representing the people there. But by using the term the world, they are emphasizing the fact that it was a very great crowd that was going after him. That is Jesus. The next one comes from Luke 14:26. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brother and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Jesus is not referring to actual hatred as we know it of his family, but he's using this intense emotional language to make the comparison of what it means to give one's life totally to being a disciple of Jesus. The next example is Luke 15:32. But we had to celebrate and rejoice, for this brother of yours was dead and has begun to live, and was lost and has been found. This comes from the story of the prodigal son. And in fact, the son was never dead, but once again, the emotional intensity of the son returning home is illustrated by the use of hyperbole.